Hey everyone, Mike here with a special edition of the BFH Garage. Today we're going to be talking about this emblem on the side of my Jeep and what it represents. Now over the years I've had multiple people come up to me asking, what is it? What does it represent? Some have even correctly identified that it's military in nature, they just don't know the meaning behind it. So today I'm going to talk about this emblem on the side of my Jeep. I'm going to talk a little bit about my family history specifically related to this. And then I'm going to finish it off with just an incredible opportunity my family had last weekend that's going to round out this entire story. Ultra cool for us. I hope you enjoy this. This is the squadron patch of the 508th Fighter Squadron. Our research has led us to believe the symbolism of this patch is as follows. The green background represents the earth and the blue background the sky. Next, the lightning bolt, which can be interpreted as a thunderbolt, as that was the P-47's name, signifies that the P-47 was a fast-moving airplane. The wings are a nod to the U.S. Army Air Corps. The bomb carries multiple meanings. First, the eye at the front of the bomb signifies that this unit had a reconnaissance component. Second, the P-47 was able to carry 2,500 pounds of ordnance. One of the missions of the 508th was heavy bomber escorts deep into Germany. If the P-47s encountered any enemy aircraft, they would dump their ordnance and engage in air-to-air combat to protect the bombers and allow them to complete their mission. If the P-47s did not encounter any enemy aircraft, then they would seek out targets of opportunity to drop their ordnance on. This unit conducted reconnaissance, bomber escorts, bombing missions, and close air support. Now that you understand why I have this patch on the side of my Jeep, let me tell you just briefly about my grandpa. During World War II, he flew 80 combat missions, 5 of those on D-Day. After the war, he went back to operating a cattle ranch in Nebraska. As part of that operation, he purchased a little Cessna airplane, and they would use that to check cattle ponds or whatever. And unfortunately and tragically died in an airplane crash on the ranch. And that was before I was born, so I never got to know him. I get a lot of my information and stories through my uncle. He would pass down the stories that his dad told him, and it's just an incredible journey for the entire family to be going through all of the, we have all of his flight logs, records, everything. So we're piecing everything together, going through his journey, and it is just incredible. So down here in Colorado South, in Colorado Springs, there is a World War II Aviation Museum. I've been there a few times, and at this museum they have an operational P-47. Now, to give you an idea of how rare an operational P-47 is, there's only 12 that are operational in the entire world, and they have one down there. So been trying to get my uncle to come out see this thing, and it's really difficult to get him to leave the ranch because he's got to tend to cattle and all that stuff. Talked to my aunt, because this time they're going to fly the thing. They do that once or twice a year, and I didn't realize that was happening this time. She convinced them to come out and go down to that museum. Well, lo and behold, another, 13 family members decided to join in. Everybody came down here, and we had the time of our lives down at that museum. World War II Aviation Museum in Colorado Springs. An unbelievable organization. It is such an incredible museum to walk through and see everything, I promise you that. But to see this P-47 fire up and take flight was the cherry on top of the proverbial sundae. This was just incredible. talking to the pilot and giving him the story of my granddad with my uncle being there and everything, I asked if my uncle could sit up in the cockpit of that. That's all I wanted to do, was to have some sort of connection like that from my uncle. The pilot listened to my story and instantly agreed. So when they came back from the flight, they put it back in the hangar, and they allowed not only my uncle to get up there, but a lot of the family members to get up there and sit in the cockpit. It was just an extremely incredible opportunity for our family that I would have never guessed. I hope you enjoy these videos, the pictures, the flight log stuff that I'm going to post. Just an incredible story behind the greatest generation, I'm telling you what. And great opportunity for me, but for those that have been asking about that unit patch, that's exactly what it is based around. One other thing I want to show you here that I almost forgot about was when I do my videos in my shop here, you're going to see that barrel up here. That was the barrel that they used to ship my granddad's stuff back from the war afterwards, and we salvaged that back out of a shed out there that was all dilapidated and fallen down. I have one, my brother has one. My other relatives have all of the flight logs. We have his original flask, headsets out of his plane. We have all sorts of stuff. It's just an incredible story. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'll get back to some Jeep stuff here pretty quick.